Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Mel and it is the fourth and final week of Realmathon. If you have no idea what Realmathon is, I will link all the information down below, but it is a month-long readathon hosted by Cassidy from Covers with Cassidy, and I am the ruler for Team Elma, which is the sci-fi team. It's not too late to join. You can actually just backlog everything that you've read up so far, so I will link everything down in the description box below. But for the fourth and final week, I wanted to end it with a bang. I wanted some good, solid reads that I was super excited for to hopefully get me some wins this week. So I decided that I was going to do anticipated, and first I was going to do just anticipated sci-fi, but then I thought there are so many good books that I really want to read right now that I might as well just go ahead and do anticipated books. Things that have been coming out recently that I'm like, grabby hands, cannot wait to read. I have a stack of books sitting beside me. They are all very chunky, so I don't know how many of these I will actually get to, but let me show you my tentative like MBR for this video and then we'll see what I actually get to. So one of the first two that I really do want to get to is Infinity Gate by M.R. Carey. This is the Inkstone book, which has beautiful sprayed edges. It is a sci-fi that is set in a multiverse. I really liked The Girl with All the Gifts, which is also by this author, and so I was interested to try something that was a little more hard sci-fi from them. I don't know a ton about this book. I know it's about a pandemonium that is an organization that can jump between different universes and different worlds, and I know that we're following a scientist that has figured out how to do this. Very interested in this one, super excited for it, so I hope that it's a win. Then we also have a host favorite of Lexi's, which is Wrong Place, Wrong Time. Picked this up a while ago actually and was really interested in it. It is a science fiction mystery hybrid where the main character witnesses her son commit murder and is like, wait a minute, there's no way that my son would actually do that. And then she starts waking up the day after and the day after and the day after and the day after trying to unravel this mystery of why her son would have committed this crime. Lexi loves it. I've heard it is a mystery, but also still fast-paced, so I'm really interested to try this one, and fingers crossed that I end up really loving it. Then we have one that is a new addition to this MBR, and that is Ashes of the Star-Crossed King by Carissa Broadbent. This is the second book in the Crowns of Nyxia duology. No, the second book in the Crowns of Nyxia series and book 2 of the Nightborn duet. This is quickly becoming one of my favorite fantasy romance series of all time, and Carissa Broadbent is quickly becoming one of my favorite authors. I loved The Serpent and the Wings of Night. These titles are not my favorite, but the books are really good. And it's following Araya, who is a human but was raised by the vampire king, and she is entering into this competition that will allow her one wish from the goddess should she win. I loved it. It was twisty, it was turny, it was action-packed, there was a great slow burn romance, there was good banter, enemies to lovers. It was so good. And so I read the novella, really enjoyed that. I will link the vlog that I read these in up above in case you guys want to hear me gush about them. But I cannot wait to actually continue with this series and read Ashes of the Star-Crossed King. The standalone in this world actually comes out this week as well, so who the heck knows? Maybe you'll end up seeing 2 of these in this vlog. I mean, this one's really thick, so maybe not, but I'm still really excited to read this. Then we have, I know this is a long list of MBR, but bear with me, I only have 2 left. The Paradise 1 by David Wellington. This is a science fiction horror about a scientist that ends up on a ship traveling to a different, gosh, what do you call it, like planet, or it's not really a planet, I guess it's a different like system or satellite, and things don't go as planned getting there. It's not short, so I don't know what I'm doing to myself this week, but I'm really excited to read this. We need some more Ilma points, and I think it's going to be a win. And then goodness forbid I actually get time, I would love to read the Book of Swords. This is a set of short stories with authors like Daniel Abram and Robin Hobb, Kate Elliott, Garth Nix, Scott Lynch, lots and lots of good authors, and it's edited by Garner Dozios? I'm probably screwing that up. This is for the Busy Bee Book Club hosted by Erin from Booked and Busy, and she and Kayla from Books and Lala are going to be talking about this at the end of the week. So if I can get at least a little bit of it read, I would be very interested in joining that live show as well. So we'll see. I do have the audiobook for this, and it is narrated by a bunch of different narrators, but the hold returns in like 2 days, so I don't know if I'll get to it or not, but I would love to at least try. Okay, so that's my MBR for the week. Might be read, might not be read, who knows? We'll see. But once I have started something and I know what the heck I'm going to be reading, I will let you know. So let's flip to future Mel, who actually knows what she's going to be reading this week. Well, I cannot believe I'm about to do this long of a vlog clip looking like a hot mess express, but it is Tuesday. And this vlog technically started like 2 or 3 days ago, so I have read a decent bit and I have a lot to update you guys on, so buckle up. It's been a long ass week. There have been some really stressful like life stuff going on that has caused me to feel like I'm in a bit of a slump, and I'm trying really hard not to be because I want to finish Realmathon out strong, but I will admit I am slumping. So we're reading anticipated books this week, with the hopes that everything will keep me excited and keep me moving, keep me want to be reading. So the first thing I have to update you guys on is I am about 10% into The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, which is the sequel to The Serpent and the Wings of Night, the Crowns of Nyxia series. Really enjoying it. We've got a dual point of view in this one. I'm excited to continue. I don't have a whole lot to say. I just barely started it, but I will definitely be reading that one this week. I'm in a fan row mood, and so I'm excited to continue it, even though it is quite long. I also started Infinity Gate. My hope was that this was going to be a really good, like, portal, sci-fi, alternate universe kind of thing. I'm not loving it. I think I'm gonna put it down, not a hardcore DNF. I'm thinking that maybe this week I'm just too slumpy and having too much stress to really focus on a book like this. The beginning is very science heavy. At one point I was like, okay, is this guy like some kind of astrophysicist? What are we doing? Where are we at? Let me get my bearings. Then we start introducing some other characters and I got a little bit lost in that. Then the characters do start to come together a little bit more, but this is a very dry book with very dry characters. And so even though the concept is extremely interesting, I was having a little bit of a hard time like connecting and feeling like I gave a crap. So unfortunately, this one's just not gonna work for me this week, but I do want to try it again and see if maybe it was a wrong place, wrong time kind of book, which leads me into Wrong Place, Wrong Time, which is another anticipated read. I picked this up a long time ago because I'd heard good things. I was really excited about it, but I wasn't really sure about it. I hadn't heard a lot of people talk about it. And so this is one of Lexi's favorites for Realmathon, and I knew that I really wanted to pick this up. This one's following a mother who is standing at her kitchen window one night waiting on her son to come home, and she sees him murder someone right in front of her. And she knows that that's not who her son is, and then she wakes up the next day and she's a day before, and then a day before, and a day before, and she's trying to unravel this mystery of why he would do that while also going back in time. I probably am, let's see, I'm listening to this one on Scribd. I have about an hour and 45 minutes left and I'm about halfway through it and I'm enjoying it. I won't say that I'm absolutely loving it, but I'm having fun. It is a pretty quick read. It's more of a mystery than a thriller, but there are definitely thriller elements to it. I think maybe it's the mother-son type relationship thing that I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine, that's a cool character, but at the same time, it's not like anything that I can super relate to. I'm gonna need for the time travel to not necessarily even have a point, but I'm afraid if it's just a gimmick, it's not going to work for me. So we're going to see how that's shaking out in the end. The mystery is interesting. I don't think that we need the second point of view, but I could end up changing my mind as the book goes along. I like it. I don't love it, but I am enjoying my time with it. So I'm excited to continue it. Again, I don't really know what about it I'm not just absolutely loving. I don't really have any criticisms to it. It's written in a very point-blank style. I did find the very first few chapters super intriguing, and then we've fallen off a little bit here in the middle, but I'm still very excited to continue it, and I'm enjoying this. Okay, so I think that's my update for now. Once I am a little bit further, I'll update you guys more. I'm hoping to get some reading done this week, but it is a struggle, you guys. I think I can do it. I do want to read. I'm just finding it hard to like sit down and focus. But sometimes you just gotta power through. You just gotta keep going. I'm enjoying my books, so that's a good move. So I'm gonna go take a long hot bath, and then I will talk to you guys later. I'm attempting to make this a slightly less atrocious angle to go with the atrocious hair that we've got going on tonight. I just wanted to quickly check in with you guys because I've read the first couple of stories in the Book of Swords and I didn't want to get too far in and not update you because each one is an individual story, so I do kind of want to briefly talk about them individually. This is again the book club pick for the Busy Bee Book Club. I'm not a huge short story person. I'm trying to find out what I like in short stories, but I have not yet really been able to do that. So I'm attempting. This is me attempting to learn what I like in short stories. And I figured this was a good place to start. I know that there are a lot of collections that tend to all like tie together, like River of Silver, which is the David Bad one, or Gleanings, which is the one for the Scythe series. So I think that I would really like those too, but this one is just a collection of short stories from different fantasy authors, but it doesn't have like an overarching theme to it other than they're all magic based. So some of these authors I do recognize, some I definitely don't. And so I'm curious to see how I end up liking some of these stories because that makes me want to either pick up books from these authors or potentially skip over them. That Bryn has decided to stop scratching around in the litter box, we can try this again. The first story was The Best Man Wins, and this was by KJ Parker. I forget what else KJ Parker has written, but I did like the writing style of this one quite a lot. It is about a guy that decides to come and be mentored by the greatest swordsman so that he can get revenge on someone that killed his father. I ended up quite liking this one. I was a little bit bored in the beginning of it, but again, like I said, I liked the writing style, and the ending really took me by surprise. Like the last little bitty bit, I was like, oh, wow, we went there. We did that. And I did appreciate that. So I liked that one. Probably a 4, well, high 3-star, low 4-star for that one. And then we have Her Father's Sword, which is the one by Robin Hobb. I was expecting to love this one because I do love Robin Hobb, but I don't think that short form is going to be Robin Hobb's thing. This one is set in the Farseer world, following the Forged ones from the first trilogy, and we do have Fitz kind of come in briefly, but then he leaves, which was fine. But I ended up not really loving this one. I felt like the motivations weren't super clear and logical, and I was a little bit bored for it. So unfortunately, that one didn't work super well for me. Probably like a low 3-star. I mean, it was Robin Hobb. Then we have The Hidden Girl by Ken Liu. This is the author of The Grace of Kings. Did not mind the writing style, which was my main concern, but I did feel like this one was a little bit all over the place. It's very lyrical writing, and it was a story of like messages and things like that, and I found myself zoning out quite a bit. I don't know what I would rate this one, but I didn't love it, but it did help me get over my fear of Ken Liu's writing, so that was good. Then I also, I'm sorry guys, I waited a really long time to update you on this one. Listen to The Sword of Destiny by Matthew Hughes. This one I did not like. I didn't find that it was bad, but I just completely did not care. Ended up skipping over the last half of this one because I just was having a hard time getting into it. I feel like that might be partially my fault for zoning out in the beginning, so I may go back and like retry that story, but I wasn't really connecting with it. It's a very magician type story, which is not usually my thing. It was fine, but like I said, I did end up skipping the end of it, and I'll go back and read that later. And then we have the I'm a Handsome Man, said Apollo Crow by Kate Elliott. This is, I've read a novella by her that I liked and gave 4 stars, and I read a novella by her that I really didn't like and DNF'd, and this one does have a good writing style, which was one of the issues that I had with Keeper 6. I liked this one. It is more of a message type story, and I did like the message behind it. I thought that it was well written. It was fine. Again, probably like a 3-star. The thing about these short stories is they are likely going to sit around a 3-star mark for me because there's just not enough to it for me to get invested to just love it and give it a 4 or 5-star. And I was expecting that, but I did still want to be able to sample a lot of the author's writing in here and found that this was going to be a really good way to do that. So far it is doing exactly what I wanted it to do. So those are the only stories that I've gotten through so far. I still have quite a few to go. They're only like 20 or so pages a piece, maybe 30. So I've still got 1, 2, 9, 10, 11 stories to go, including the George R. R. Martin story. The audiobook is returning in like an hour. So that's not happening. I will try to read more physically if I can, but I may or may not complete the short story collection in this vlog, but since we're talking about individual short stories, hopefully that'll be okay. And then when I do my recent reads, I will definitely wrap up the whole thing. Other than that, I don't really have a whole lot to update you guys on. I'm hoping to go return some books at the library tomorrow and maybe even go by Barnes & Noble, do a little bit of shopping, use my new card. But I will take you guys with me, of course, as always.
Don't need someone to save me, no, and don't come running to blame me. From miles away I can tell that something's off. The way you look and how you pause when you talk, I think you said enough. You said your love for me something brand new. You said this is something you would never do. Here we are in your car, let me see who you are, who you really are, yeah. Don't need you here to say you're sorry, 'cause if you're gonna leave me then just do it. Don't take it slow, don't be gentle, no, I just gotta know. If you're gonna leave me then just do it. Let's be honest for a second, yeah. You're being over your head, babe, 'cause there is no one other than me that can make you feel the way you feel when I hold you. I think I said enough. You said your love for me something brand new. You said this is something you would never do.
I have no idea how long this battery is gonna last, so we're just gonna try cooking and talking. And if I lose you guys, I'll come back later. This is a really big knife for such a small project. But anyway, I am about a little over halfway into Paradise 1 now, and I loved the first couple of chapters. I was in it, I was having a great time, and then we got a little further in, and I haven't been enjoying it as much, I'll be honest with you guys. I really, really want to be enjoying it, but it is just too fast-paced, and I need it to like slow down, take a minute, explore some of the themes that it keeps talking about, explore some of these ideas, do some world building, do some character development, then come back to the fast pace. But unfortunately, it's just go, 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 move, 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 action, 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 and it's not slowing down to like introduce anything or make me give a crap about the characters, make me even care what the plot is about, because it's spending so much time on action scenes. So it is starting to lose me just a little bit. Right now it's feeling like a 3-star. Also found out that I thought that all of the complaints about the book being a super big cliffhanger was because NetGalley only released part of the book instead of the whole thing and didn't tell anybody. But then I realized that people actually had read the whole 700-page book and were still complaining about that. And so I'm like, great. I'm gonna spend all this time and then it's gonna end on a massive cliffhanger. I don't know, we'll see. We've had some big moments and things happen, and I just don't care because there's been no reason for me to care. He's not giving me any information on this character's mommy issues. So I'm like, okay, well, why do we have that? And then none of the science is explained. And then we had a death, and it's just like, I don't care. And that's sad because I loved the first couple of chapters. I like the way that it's written. I just needed to pump the brakes a little bit and like spend time building up everything that it's just, I don't know, breakneck speed. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I need to finish cooking and this is about to die anyway. Hey guys, So it is time to finish up the final vlog for Realmathon. I cannot believe that it is now done. April is over. I had so much fun this month. So thank you so much to Cassidy for asking me to be a co-host again this year. I loved it. I had such a good time hanging out with everybody all month, getting to meet new people. It was so great and so much fun. So once again, thank you to Cassidy, but we need to wrap up this vlog, give you my final thoughts, and put through the spreadsheet for points for my final 2 books, because I have not done that yet. So first, let's do the bad news, and then we'll talk about the good news. So the bad news is I didn't love Paradise 1. This is a really long book for a cliffhanger that has little to no payoff. I just did not enjoy my time with this. I think I'm going to end up giving it 2 stars. The first couple of chapters had 5-star feels. Like, I was absolutely loving it. And then as we went on, I just found myself getting more and more bored and more annoyed by the fact that we weren't getting anything of substance. I agree with Emma, who said it's like he had a checklist and he was just checking off things as he went that should be in sci-fi horror without bringing anything super new and exciting to the table. And then unfortunately, because of that, the character development suffered, the character moments to make things impactful suffered, and the plot suffered because there really wasn't a whole lot of plot going on. Like, we had a point A to point B angle, but there was so much in between that was just very unnecessary. This book did not need to be this long by any means, and I don't understand really how it's going to continue to be 3 books. Like, it's just too much. So unfortunately, this one was not a win for me. I did not really enjoy it, but it's going to get us hopefully a lot of points for Team Ilma, so that's good at least. Let's quickly put it through the submission form and see how many points we're going to get. So we read Paradise 1. I forget exactly how many pages this is. It's like 675 pages. It's so long. Okay, so we're going to try for increasing on this one. It is a hybrid and it is our team genre. Let's see, does it have a source of light on the cover? There's a reflection, but I don't really feel like there's a source of light, so probably not that one. Can I spell my name? We're not going to have an M on the front of the cover. So no, I cannot. Not an emotion, not a weather-related word. Okay, you know how I said I was going to defend? I'm not. Let's go back. Let's do decreasing, and let's see what we get for that. So again, hybrid, realm genre. Own voices, no. A word related to another realm, not your own. I don't know. I don't feel like Paradise really fits in with another realm. I don't know. I think that you know what? Actually, I am going to stretch this a little bit because the Cyrus realm is supposed to be like this paradise and this tropical, or I guess it's not tropical, but like really soothing, amazing place to be. So we're going to count that as a Cyrus word. Still a book from an enemy's TBR. Jonathan was reading this and he's on Sanctum, so I can do that. Dysfunctional family, absolutely. Title is not a movement. I don't think it's a pseudonym. It is an isolated setting. A book that plays with time, not really. It is a proper noun, technically. I don't know, can we count that as an illustrated spine? I think we can, so we're going to count that as an illustrated spine. So we end up getting 20 bonus points plus -6, -12, so -24 points for the prompts, and then the extra 20 points from the bonus genres. So I think for this one, I'm going to attack Cyrus. I feel like Cyrus has been on the up and up, so we're going to attack them, especially since we used their word for the prompt. Okay. So that is that one. And then we also need to talk about Ashes of the Star-Cursed King, which I gave 5 stars. There's the good news. I loved this book. I think that Carissa Broadbent does relationships and complicated relationships better than any other author that I've read in a really long time. She somehow manages to make both the romantic and the familial relationships that have a lot of layers make perfect sense. She doesn't rush the conclusions. She's giving the characters the ability to feel multiple things at once like you would if you were in that situation as a human, and I just loved every second of this. There was a little bit of a lull kind of in the middle, but it was really hammering home that character development, so it did not bother me. The ending was action-packed as usual. I loved it. I'm so glad to see the ending to these characters. I will be sad to see them go, but I'm also very excited, and I trust Carissa Broadbent to give us something absolutely amazing in the second duology in this series, and I still have a standalone to go, which should be here hopefully tomorrow, and I'm like dying to get into that. So then let's talk about how many points this one's gonna get us. This one is also quite long. I've looked at it before. It's right at 600 pages. Okay, we're gonna try for increasing on this one. Let's just see if we can do it. It is a hybrid genre and it is indie, but it's not our team genre. I feel like there is a source of light on the cover, kind of like right there. That's light. Spell my name. I'm not gonna be able to do it on this one either. Because of the M. There is no M. Well, that's annoying. A title with an emotion. No. Weather-related word. Stars and ashes. Are those weather-related words? Like, can we stretch that? Probably not, can we? You know what? We may have to go back and try decreasing on this one too, because I feel like I'm not getting anywhere. A word related to another realm. I feel like cursed is kind of a fantasy and a sanctum word. Still a book from an enemy's TBR. Rye, she's on sanctum. Dysfunctional family for sure. Not really a movement, not a pseudonym, not isolated setting. I did buy this book, but I read it on KU. So can that count? Because I did not read this edition. I won't do it. I won't cheat. Illustrated spine. It is an illustrated spine. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the crown wraps around. There is not a monster on the cover. It is a 2023 release, and that's 5 prompts. So we got the 20 again, and then we got -6, -12, -15, -18, -20. So not bad. I think we're going to attack Enya with this one because it is a fantasy, and we've already beaten up poor Cyrus once. So the 2 books that I need to talk to you about, I read Paradise 1, Ashes of the Star-Cursed King. I DNF'd Infinity Gate. Oh wow, these are really heavy and not small books. And then also read Wrong Place, Wrong Time, which I gave 3 stars. So we had a 3-star, a DNF, a 5-star, and a 2-star. It was a very eclectic reading vlog of anticipated reads, but I did find a couple of wins, a couple of things that I really enjoyed, so I'm going to count that. I'm going to take the win. So thank you guys so very much for watching and hanging out with me all month while we participated in Realmathon. If you just want to let me know that you were here, leave me a llama emoji because it's the last Realmathon vlog, and Team Ilma, Team Llama, I believe in us. I don't know what the results are yet, but I believe in us. They actually come out, I think, the day that this vlog is going up. So definitely check out all of the, well, not Instagram, check out the Twitter and Cassidy's channel, the Discord, all of that fun stuff for the announcement of who won. As always, links to my Patreon, Instagram, Twitter, and Goodreads are all in the description box down below. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe if you wanna, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.